you, and pardon me for my voice and my pitch because I'm not as fluent today as I generally would like to be because the season has actually caught me up and I'm in the midst of some cough and cold and all asthma problem. It's pleasure to be back to our home campus. This is where the 13th youth conference actually symbolizes that I have spent 13 years in this conference, in this campus. Uh, I remember the day when we actually started with this first youth conference way back, 13 years back, and how we have built it slowly over a period of time. And I'm really happy to see that the legacy is moving forward, and a lot of innovation has come into play for organizing the youth conference, and it has reached a level where the level of deliberations, the quality of speakers, and the participation of the students from near and far is actually has taken a shape, and it's a proud moment for each one of you. So I would like to begin by clapping for the organizer of the 13th conference. I would also like to begin by congratulating the pick of the topic because this is so contextual, the AI. So we'll talk about AI, and this 2 days, this entire thing is going to be AI. But let me congratulate the organizer for picking up this topic, disruptions and opportunity, because AI is indeed a disruption, is also an opportunity. So what are the disruptions and how we safeguard ourselves with that, with those disruptions? That's the one deliberation that all of us have to have. There is no getting away with that AI cannot or is not going to. So we cannot just close our eyes and say that AI is not going to disrupt. It is going to disrupt, and it's already started disrupting. So how do you prepare against that? That's one deliberation. Another deliberation is it also opens up a lot of opportunities for us. So huge opportunities on our way. So what are the new opportunities? How do we actually adapt and change? So the key word that I can see is the change. Change is the key word, and if it is not understood by you and I today, then we are going to be obsolete very soon. Everybody has to change. The teaching community has to change. The way the students are learning has to change. The way the educational institutions are organized has to change. The way the government is organized is to change. The way the market is functioning is to change. So a lot of change is happening. So change is the key word that all of us have to. So we'll come back to that in a while, but let me take this pleasure of welcoming the very appropriate and fitting to the occasion, the speaker, the chief guest of this morning, Sri Satish Punia ji. Ladies and gentlemen, can we join our hands and welcome the chief guest today? Your presence is very enlightening for us, sir. You have been at the forefront of the leading political discourse, and I'm sure the audience sitting over here, the students largely, and the faculty community will gain a lot from your deliberation. We look forward to your deliberation today. Welcome to Jaipuria Institute of Management. We have two guests of honor, very young, very dynamic, energetic. Ram Gopal Prajapat ji, welcome to 13th Youth Conference. Joshita Tandon ji, welcome. And we'll be looking forward to your deliberation. I welcome all the students who have participated from various colleges, and also I welcome the different delegations from, I have my friend here sitting, he has traveled a long way, Detrich Sanz. Ladies and gentlemen, we should clap for him because he has been a regular participant to youth conference, and let me tell you, he has traveled all the way from US for this conference here. So he deserves to be applauded for that. Yeah. We have been developing a lot of collaborations with outside world post AACSB. So let me just spend 2 minutes to talk about that. One of the frontier of Jaipuria Institute of Management is international collaboration, and we are AACSB certified, accredited. AACSB is the international US-based accreditation for those who are not aware about it, and only less than 1% business school in India has this accreditation, and Jaipuria Institute of Management has been able to get it in less than 5 years for one accreditation for all 4 campuses of Lucknow, Noida, Jaipur and Indore, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the biggest I consider is one of the biggest achievement of Jaipuria in its entire history. So this is the way forward. This is not the end of it. We are in the top 100 NIRF government ranking, with one of the campus, Noida, is in the top 50, and the others in. So we have a target that all 4 campuses will be in the top 50 in the next couple of years. So that is the way forward from here now. There are 4 pillars that we actually rely on, and let me just delve into these 4 pillars for your understanding of how Jaipuria works. One is the industry, because we have this, everything is about the market and the industry, because we are a business school, so we have deep connection with the industry. And I'll tell you something very interesting. Our students actually will get exposure to more than 200 industry professionals in 2 years when they are here in one way or the other. They have this opportunity of shaking hands with them. They have the opportunity to write email to them. They have the opportunity to talk to them. They have the opportunity to visit them. So this is actually very fascinating for Jaipuria, because this is your actual real experience that is going to help create a differentiator in your life. And this is the differentiator that we want to create in your life, and that is why it's so important here. Second is the learning. Learning is very, very fundamental to everything that we do, because everything depends on learning. And you keep on learning, you keep on growing. There's no there's no other way to achieve anything in life other than you keep on learning. That is the mantra that all of us have to have. So learning is 24 into 7 activity. So we use a lot of technology inside the classroom, outside the classroom, and we engage with our learners very deeply. So learning is at the core of everything. Learning is not something that happens only inside the classroom, it happens outside the classroom. We are all sitting over here and we are learning. We are walking in the corridor, we are learning. We are visiting market, we are learning. We are talking to each other, we are learning. We are gossiping, we are learning. I mean, gossiping is a very fundamental tool of learning, right? We read books, we learn. We talk about books, we learn. And this is how learning should be. And this is exactly the way the Jaipuria students learn here and the Jaipuria faculty learns here. So learning is the second pillar. The third pillar is international exposure. I have already spoken about that. Many students of Jaipuria have received this international exposure, the wonderful international exposure, over a period of time of 2 years, and they go for trimester exchange for 3 months. They earn credit, they come back, and also there are short-term international exposure, and this helps them in many ways, not only in grooming their learning and their own personality, but also it is helping them in getting jobs and cracking the interview. We have seen the marvelous changes that has happened in the students when they visit abroad and be a part of this kind of international exposure, and then when they come back, their personality almost gets completely changed, and they're more confident, they're more perfect in speaking. A lot of traits they have developed, they develop after this kind of exposure. So it's a very important aspect of the experience that we provide to our students. The last and the fourth pillar that we talk about is the emotional intelligence. So it's a very interesting proposition that in the age of AI, how do we actually look at EI? Because AI and EI have to go together. If you are not going together, then there is a problem, because in the age of AI, all we need to look at how we actually, what is human actually? How do we support human activities? How do we actually create a kind of environment or the ecosystem where human flourishing happens in the age of AI? AI doesn't mean that everything will be done by AI and the humans are removed from the scene. It's not going to happen like that. So all we have to do is to combine AI with EI. We have happiness laboratory, we have happiness teaching, a lot of big differentiator that we have been able to create. So this is what it is. So just 3 points that I would like to make in the end, and stop my welcome address. The first is coming from the Future of Jobs, a report by the World Economic Forum, and which says that around 44% of the workers' core skills are expected to change within the next few years. And it's about by 2030, it says that about 22% of the existing jobs will undergo disruption. So be ready for that. A lot of things are going to change. A lot of jobs that you are thinking that you are very comfortable with is going to go now. You have to adapt to different kind of 170 million new roles will emerge. So that's another aspect of AI. And while 92 million roles could be displaced, resulting in a net gain of about 78 million jobs globally. So net benefit of AI will be that about 70 to 8 to 100 million jobs, new jobs will come. But are you ready for the new jobs? That's the question. But here is an important caveat. The caveat is that nearly about 40% of the existing skills will need to change. So the way you think, the way you deal with technology, the way you write, the way you speak, everything has to undergo a change. So you'll have to be ready for that. 63% of the employers already identify skill gaps as their biggest barrier. So it's not about the dearth of job in the market. It's about the dearth of right people in the market. So that is the point that you have to. So maybe you go for interview and the interviewers have come and they want to select 100 people, but they have ended up selecting none of you. That scenario can exist because they didn't find you suitable for the job. So the question is not that of dearth of job. The question is that of how you adapt to the AI challenge, right? Now, global risk report, that's the second thing I would like to quote. It talks about the poly crisis. The poly crisis is something that you have to be ready with. So academic institutions, the government, the students, everybody has to be very conscious about this fact. What is this poly crisis coming? Poly crisis is about the multiple risks that you're going to run or you're going to face in times to come. It's not just about AI, but there are other risks also you need to be very, very conscious about. And these unfolding simultaneously in terms of technology, geopolitics is another risk. And we know that. I mean, we are well aware about how the kind of disruption the geopolitics can do. Then the climate change is another risk, which is not basically the AI risk. It's about other environmental risks that we are talking about. There's society, technology disruption, AI-driven misinformation. The misinformation is one of the challenges that all of us are going to face. So beware of that. Cyber threats is going to be big, and it already has become very big. Economic volatility, the social fragmentation is going to appear because the difference between the students who will know AI and can be very proficient in AI and the students who do not know AI and is not at all proficient in AI is going to be very big. So have and have nots, if you talk